So, welcome everyone to the webinar for this month. Uh, Usually, our webinars are focused on SMEs and how to empower them to thrive, especially in this economy. Um, so, this webinar is titled Fostering Inclusive Workplaces Effective Strategies for Diversity and Sustainability in Tech. So we'll be learning around diversities, the strategies we can use to have a more inclusive workplace, things for us to look forward to and to expect, the importance of diversity and inclusion in driving innovation and sustainability in our workplaces. Also, we'll be looking at strategies for promoting equity and accessibility in tech. And then finally, we'll be seeing best strategies and technologies to foster diversity and inclusion in the workplace. So I'm really excited about this webinar, and I'm sure you are too. My name is Chinwe Aaron Ogunfile, and I work within the brand and communications team here in MTN. And with me is my colleague Aderisola. I know many of you already know him, and so he'll be here also to moderate with me. Okay, ground rules. A few ground rules as we proceed with the webinar. Please, we are supposed to mute our systems, our mics, and we are only allowed to leave a comment in the comment section, leave questions for the guest speakers in the comment section, and of course, wait for them to be done before we can give a comment or two. That's if you want to speak vocally. But if not, kindly drop a message in the comment section. Please, we are advised to remain muted so we do not distract the guest speakers. And you can also respond virtually with a show of hand and clap as the case may be. So without much ado, I'll be introducing our guest speakers. I believe they're already here with us. First on the list is Vivian Omoribe. She's not a new face to us because we are from the same organization. So Vivian Omoribe is the manager of employee experience and diversity here in MTN Nigeria. Um, she holds a BSc from Nnamdi Azikiwe University and an MBA from the University of Wales. She's an associate member of the Chartered Institute of Management, and she is a certified professional in Human Resources International with Human Resources Certificate Institute and Customer Service Professional. So you already know that whatever we'll be hearing from her will be from a point of experience, and I'm really looking forward to hear what she has to say to us today. Also joining us on the call as a guest speaker is Mr. Imesibe Ene. He's a technology entrepreneur with years of experience designing scalable enterprise products and services. His expertise covers solutions, architecture, workflow, automation, product strategy, and innovation to solve business needs. He's a co-founder and the CEO at Cloudinly. I know a number of us already know the HR and payroll management platform, Cloudinly. So he is the co-founder and the CEO of that. So you can be rest assured that he's coming in with vast experiences with technology that can help solve our HR issues. So before venturing into technology startups, he spent 13 years plus at MTN Nigeria. So also he's a familiar face with us, where he managed the MTN Nigeria's core transmission architecture designs and capacity shaping until 2017. He holds a bachelor degree in electronics engineering from University of Nigeria in Nsukka. And of course, he matters of Business Administration from the University of Bradford, United Kingdom. So we are really excited to have both of our guest speakers here with us. Before we proceed, I would like to be sure that we can all hear and also see me. So with that, I want us to give a round of applause for our guest speakers. So please do a virtual round of applause. Let's be sure that we are all here together. And I see the hands going up. A virtual round of applause. Can you all hear me? Okay, fantastic, fantastic. That's great. Okay, so let's go straight into the panel session. So we'll have a couple of questions for our guest speakers, and they'll be sharing from their wealth of experience for us to learn from. So going first would be Vivian. So Vivian, welcome to the webinar. Can we hear you? Can you
Thank you,
welcome
Chinwe.
us? Thank
Thank you,
you,
Chinwe.
thank you, thank you for
And welcome
joining us.
everyone to this session. I'm really pleased to be here with you. I believe we'll have a wonderful time together.
Fantastic. We are excited to. Okay, just a question, a quick one. How can SMEs create a sense of belonging and inclusivity for diverse employees? I know many of SME startups, especially within the tech environment, try to create like inclusivity with different cadre and age range. So how are they able to manage that while ensuring that they keep their focus on productivity and ensuring they get the best out of what they have to offer? So how can SMEs create that sense of belonging, within their team?
All right, Chinwe, thank you very much for that question. And having a diverse workforce, it's already a pathway to productivity as well as having an organization that is functioning as it should, and such that it should yield a lot of benefits as expected for that organization. So it's actually a plus for an organization to be diverse in its operation. So some of the things that could be considered, right, to create a sense of belonging and inclusion for diverse employees that should be in your employment as an SME is that you need to have a diversity and inclusion strategy in place. You need to be really deliberate about this because it helps to capture the various goals that you have for implementing diversity and inclusion in your organization. It's a critical bedrock for establishing a culture that encourages and supports diversity and inclusion initiatives. Now, these goals must be clearly stated and they should be measurable. It should also align with your business objectives. Your diversity and inclusion goals cannot run in isolation to your business objectives. And while you're developing this, you could even involve the employees. What this does is that it helps to foster a sense of ownership from the employees themselves, because it will help to lead to a greater buy-in and support for any of the diversity initiatives that are going to roll out in your organization. And when you have these plans in place, or the goals, the D&I goals in place, there's need for constant review and feedback from your employees. That way you can realign and realign what needs to be realigned and continuously prioritize the various diversity initiatives that will help to foster an inclusive workplace for your people. Second in line is leadership buy-in and accountability. Why is this important? The commitment and buy-in of your leaders will ensure successful implementation of diversity and inclusion initiatives in your organization. Yes, because leaders will champion diversity. They set the tone from the top. And this demonstrates that they believe in the value that it brings to the organization. So once you have leadership buy-in in place and accountability towards promoting all the various diversity and inclusion initiatives that would have been in place, automatically it means you're likely going to see progress in the various interventions that would have been rolled out in line with diversity and inclusion. Third, for me, is ability to provide and promote ongoing diversity training in your organization. Yes, because some people don't even understand what we mean by diversity and inclusion. So it's only when you expose them to such trainings, and the training should be exposed to everybody in the organization. It's not just limited to the lower cadre, but everybody in the organization. So when you expose everyone in the organization to such trainings, it's going to equip them with the knowledge, the skills that they need to navigate a diverse work environment effectively. And another thing such training does is that it helps to encourage open communication, which ultimately leads to a safe place for employees to share their experiences and perspective, because there's that mutual understanding that is in place. That's now ability to value diverse viewpoints at the point of making decision. So fourth, right, another thing that could be considered is to implement a robust diversity and inclusion policy in place. So your policies, your processes, your procedure should be, you should consider the elements of diversity and inclusion. And your policies should be able to promote things around equal opportunity for all employees, irrespective of their gender, irrespective of their ethnic background. Now, some of the policies that you could consider are things around flexible work. Remember the era of COVID, right? A lot of organizations had to start working online. Now, post-COVID, because that's where we are now, I believe there are employees who prefer the option of working virtual as opposed to being on-site at work, or some who prefer a mix of both of them, both virtual and on-site at work. So these are some of the policies that you need to start considering, because those are the preferences that are coming from your employees. So policies around workplace harassment, policies around unbiased and inclusive practices, policies around unbiased and inclusive performance evaluation and promotion process. These are all policies that you need to consider and make sure they are in place if you're clamoring for a diverse and inclusive workplace for your people. And one thing about having such policies is that you also have to review them from time to time and ensure that they're in alignment with your diversity and inclusion goals and even the current business realities that you see around you. And another reason why you review them from time to time is to identify and eliminate any form of bias or barriers that could prevent you implementing those policies in your organization successfully. 5, and almost the last for me, is to create supportive employee resource groups and to facilitate team bonding activities for your people. Now, these are more like a mutual ground where people can come together and be themselves and express themselves to the best of their ability. So for instance, an employee resource group could offer a supportive community where employees can seek mentorship, they can develop leadership skills, they can collaborate on diversity and inclusion initiatives. Internally, where I work, we have employee resource group for women, we have for men, and we're even encouraging more for people who are differently abled, right? That way they can come together and collaborate on conversations that are enriching for their career in that environment that they work. Now, in terms of team bonding activities or workshops, it helps to strengthen, interpersonal relationship between people that work in the same organization. It also helps to build trust amongst team members. So it helps to lay a good foundation for effective cross-cultural collaboration. You will agree with me that a diverse workforce will have people from various ethnic backgrounds, from various cultural backgrounds, and there's need for us to understand ourselves at that level and be able to, work collectively in the environment where we work together. So these are some of the key things that SMEs need to begin to consider if they're not doing that already, to have an inclusive workplace for their employees. If I could just add one more thing, that's what is called employee persona, right? You need to know the employees who are working for you What are their preferences? What are their dislikes? What are their aha moments in the organization? What are their low moments in the organization? So it gives you like a pictorial view of who your employees are. Now, when you're trying to come up with initiatives, that should drive an inclusive workplace for your people, you're tailoring according to the unique attributes that you have identified in your people. So that way you're working in tandem of what you're saying and not as opposed to what you've assumed that could be what their needs are when addressing diverse and inclusive needs for your people. So I think it's something that should be considered by SMEs as well, to go the extra mile to know the makeup of their employees and know how to serve them better in line with inclusion and diversity. So I will stop at that at this point and yield the floor to Chinwe.
Thank you so much, Vivian, for such insights. I have a particular question. From what you mentioned, there are strategies that's very helpful for SMEs. Now, we know that things change, and just like you mentioned, from COVID period and we're in post-COVID period, and periodically many changes occur. And how are SMEs able to keep track of these changes? Are there standard practices that would guide or that they could, follow as their guidelines in making these changes? Or they're just supposed to learn as the employees, come into the organization, or they are just standard practices that, this is what should be done, then I can go and ahead with this.
Well, in line with diversity and inclusion, I think the conversation at the moment is for us to be a lot more proactive. You don't need to wait for someone to come in before you begin to anticipate the kind of changes that you should start making, right? There are various generations of workforce. You have baby boomers, you have the Gen Z, the millennials, and all that. And to an extent, you have an idea of the traits of the various, generations of workforce that we have. And you also have, a general idea of what their needs would likely be in a setting of a workplace. So that way, proactively, you begin to put, certain things in place within your organization. Now, in line with diversity and inclusion, I wouldn't say standard guidelines, but the fact is that it's expected that as a baby boomer, as a Gen Z, whichever generation of workforce you fall in, if I come into your work environment, I should be able to fit in. I should be able to work seamlessly with everyone. And that speaks to the kind of culture in line with diversity and inclusion that you'd have laid down in the organization for you to be able to yield such results. So it's a proactiveness that there's a proactiveness that goes with it. You don't need to wait till somebody comes in before you're able to tell what is required of the person. You can have the minimum barriers on ground ahead of time.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. I see some hands up. I see Kolawole Fashola Communications with their hands up. I want to leave. That was the time when we were acknowledging that we can see and hear me. But if not, and you have a comment or question, you can kindly leave it at the comment section, or you wait till the end of the session. Then we can accommodate your questions. So my next question will be going to Mr. Emesibe. I'm sure he can hear us. So can you do us a favor, show a wave to us? Oh, fantastic. Okay, so the question would be, how can organizations leverage technology to create inclusive and accessible workspaces, especially SMEs?
Good morning, everyone, and nice to have you. COVID gave us a typical example. Prior to COVID, all of us were, going on site to the offices to work. And I remember back in the days when we employed somebody who was, outside of Lagos. and it was a challenge, jumping on Zoom with a person to have a meeting or to review the person's progress. Okay. At some point, we said it wasn't working for us, that it's better we terminate, right? Because we're lazy, to adopt Zoom as a practice, right? As a work channel, right? But COVID had forced everybody to adopt that. Okay. And if we look at Zoom, it's a perfect example of how technology can enhance, diversity and inclusion, because what it has equally done for, the workforce globally is that somebody can stay in Nigeria and work for a company in the UK. And Zoom is not the only technology that's enabling that, right? There's a whole lot of tools that enable even Slack, even things like Zoom, Slack, GitHub, and a whole lot of technology. And when you take it away from that, okay, so let's even go to Zoom. What does Zoom do? Beyond the fact that all of us use Zoom or Teams or Meet to work, what it means is that a mother who has caregiving responsibility can stay home and still work. That's inclusion in the first instance, right? That somebody who is disabled and not able to commute can stay home and work. So even if we're not looking at the, transborder work enablement that it has fostered, even within us, even within Lagos, it means that people who are not able to work can now work, right? So we've seen that technology has come, COVID has, forced us to learn that, look, technology can help us include other people who are previously excluded, right? Also learning, right? A lot of people are jumping to the e-learning platforms, whether it's Udemy or whatever you have, to learn, okay? And these courses are way affordable, right? Organizations now are signing up to the enterprise platform, on Udemy or Coursera or the likes, to train their workforce, okay? So first, it's cheaper. Two, it's accessible anywhere. So it doesn't matter really, where you are, you can take those programs, right? So you're including everybody in development, in capacity building, okay? Vivian earlier mentioned, employee resource groups, okay? If you approach employee resource group, manually, it will be tedious. But if you can drive that with technology, meaning that everybody can access resources that's available for that particular group. Because employee resource group is actually identifying people who have things in common, who can support each other and access resources to, drive their costs together. So like you said, it could be for, women, who identify themselves together and have a common resource group that, helps them as women in the workplace. It could be disabled people, right? So technology can equally drive that, meaning that each of those people can access the resources from anywhere they are and get the support that they need. So really, there are several ways that technology can, foster diversity and inclusion. And if I start enumerating them, maybe we will not leave the meeting today. So that's technology is surely playing a major role in that regard.
Just cast my mind back to pre-COVID and how it wasn't even top of mind for people to have virtual meetings as such. But now it's almost like the go-to. In fact, the platform we are using now, it's virtual, and we are having such impactful meetings. So it plays a very good role in creating diversity and inclusion in the workplace. Thank you so much for saying Missy for that. So back to Vivian. So I would like to ask, and I believe I'm speaking on behalf of SMEs here. In the process of hiring people, how do we ensure that we are giving room for diversity and inclusion, especially when it comes to hiring the best people for the job, people that are knowledgeable and have the required skills? How do we ensure that we are not being biased by picking a particular category or set of people? How do I ensure that in my hiring process, I'm able to be diverse and inclusive?
All right, thank you, Chinwe, for that question. So in hiring and ensuring there's no form of bias of any sort, and also ensuring that it's as inclusive as possible. As an SME, you need to define what diversity and inclusion mean to your organization, because that will help to inform the kind of inclusive recruitment policy that you should have in place for your organization. And that's because your inclusive recruitment policy guides how recruitments will be conducted in your organization. So there's some form of standardization in place. So it's not just, run as you like for every recruitment that will come up. So that's one. So at the level of recruitment now, you need to consider how you write your job descriptions and how you state the requirements, for that particular job. So when you're writing your job description, it should have inclusive language that is devoid of any form of gender-based language or industry jargon, right? And you need to keep your job description simple and focused on the job at hand. So that way you're able to target better, right? The right candidates or the right pool to apply for that particular job that you're trying to fill. Emphasize on the responsibilities of that job. Define the skills and qualifications that you're looking for in that job, the kind of experience that is required for that job, right? So that way you can attract, the kind of candidates that will be able to genuinely meet the job criteria that you have defined for that job. And obviously that rules out any form of biases in any way. Two is if you're using a digital platform to advertise for your job, it should be accessible. Now, when you're advertising for job, you don't rule out accessibility for persons with disabilities. I will mention that because it's all part of diversity and inclusion in the workplace. If you begin to segregate the people you employ, it then means there's some form of bias in that recruitment process. However, it depends on the position in question that is being recruited for, and if it's a kind of job that somebody who is differently able can do as well. So your career website should be accessible to all candidates, whether able or differently abled, if I'll put it that way. And there are accessibility standards that you can find online. I believe your IT person will guide better, right? And if you, for somebody who is differently abled, you need to use videos, you need to use captions and all that, to make it better for them to be able to access your website to apply for roles in your organization. And you can even go further to expand where you advertise these job openings. Remember that candidates nowadays, they seek for employment across diverse channels, right? Some could use print adverts, some could attend virtual or on-site job fairs or boot camps. Some could conduct research on their social network. So they could access their adverts through diverse means. So which means you need to widen your scope of advertising for roles or openings in your organization. It opens the chance to recruit a more diverse population into your organization. And you need to standardize your interview process. Remember, I mentioned the policy at the beginning. So that starts from you having an inclusive recruitment policy in place. So that way it helps to standardize your interview process. Your interview process is structured, and it reduces subjective judgments. Your questions, you set up predetermined questions and evaluation criteria for each candidate. Everybody is exposed to the same type of questions. There's consistency that ensures that all applicants are, they are assessed on the same parameter, minimizing any form of personal biases. In the past, I've heard things like blind recruitment, whereby you don't even know who is before you, whether it's a male or a female. The panel, the interview panel will back whoever you're interviewing. So you don't know if it's a male or a female that would have walked into the room. So all you have to do is listen to what the person has to say regarding to all the questions that would have been asked. But there could be a video that captures the person's expressions in case you want to look at those other aspects later. So that way it helps to rule out any form of bias or of whatsoever. Your panel, you need to look at your panel as well. Is it a proper mix? Is it just the males that are on the panel? Is it just females that are on the panel, right? Is it just a particular job level that is on the panel and all that? So you need to involve individuals from diverse backgrounds, and it depends on what role you're filling. So they can provide what multiple perspective and help counter any form of unconscious biases. So when a hiring team represents different demographics, all right, they are likely to recognize and challenge bias, any form of bias that may come up for that recruitment process. Your interview panel, you don't take them out of the diversity training or diversity and inclusion training that you do in the organization. You need to provide that training to them as well, because it helps to raise awareness around unconscious bias, and it helps to equip them with the tools to minimize those such impacts. You know, unconscious bias is an inference for any interview process. So it helps to minimize that as much as possible. And I don't know how many of us consider using technology, AI. You know, I have Mr. Emisibe here. He will help expand further in the area of tech. But then there's also need to leverage technology and AI to automate, that AI is artificial intelligence, to automate certain aspects of your hiring process. AI can help to screen your resumes of the candidates for that particular role, right? Because you could do it such that it's able to remove identifying information and focus only on skills and experience for that role. That's one good thing you will get from AI or the use of technology to screen CVs. And you also need to monitor the kind of data that you gather for your hiring process. Reviewing it from time to time helps to identify the kind of pattern that may indicate bias in your recruitment process. And obviously what that tells you is that you need to go back to the drawing board, realign the processes around recruitment, and then implement that through your revised process or policy, or your revised policy that everybody needs to adapt accordingly in the organization. So these are just some of the few things that, you know, will help inclusive recruitment process for SMEs. These are some of the few things that they need to consider to help in that regard.
Thank you so much, Vivian, for this. It's very, very insightful. And thank you for pointing our attention to AI and technology also in helping us to ensure we foster inclusivity in our workplaces. So now we'll be going on to the next session where we would have more insight on the technologies that we can use to promote and foster inclusivity and also best practices for our HR resources management. So we have Mr. Emisibe here with us. So he will be running us through the next session. So Mr. Emisibe, are you still with us? Can you hear us?
Yeah. I can hear you. I'm here.
Okay, so fantastic. So now we want you to kind of introduce us to your product, Cloudinly, and how it can be of use to us as SMEs. So you have the floor.
Thank you. Okay. Just give me a minute. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Can.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you very much. You know, Vivian had mentioned earlier that it would be nice to use technology to, you know, drive even your hiring practices. Okay. You know, ATS and the likes, or to use technology to publish, you know, your job vacancies. Okay. That's where Cloudinly comes in. Cloudinly is a full suite, you know, HR product. It addresses the needs of micro, small businesses and large enterprises. Okay. And I will briefly, run you through so that you get a sense of what Cloudinly does. Cloudinly starts from helping you design your organization structure, the way you want to run it, the way it exists today. Or if you want to change the structure, Cloudinly helps you do that, defining whether you're running, a divisional model or you are running, a group model, whatever it is. Cloudinly can help do that. Equally helps you define your job levels and define your job categories and define, the job titles that exist in your organization so that they are dynamic. Once you employ somebody and profile the person, you just assign the person a job title. Once you assign the job title, the system immediately knows the person's reporting line all the way to the CEO or MD, and equally knows the people who report to that individual. Location management allows you to define all locations where you maintain operation and ties it to Inland Revenue Services, for payee compliance. Under employee management, you're able to onboard new employees and perform all employee-related actions like, confirmation, redeployment, promotion, delegation of authority, and the rest. Or equally termination if you want to disengage an employee. When we're done, I'll log into the app so that you can have a feel of, how these things happen. Compensation planning helps you to do, plan pay equity across the organization, which is another thing that ties into diversity and inclusion, because you want to be sure that you're paying all categories of people equitably. You don't want to see that you're paying the men, better than you're paying females, or you're paying one ethnic group better than you're paying the other. So compensation data helps you to visualize that and help you make, adjust and probably make more informed decisions. Then performance management helps you to, set annual targets for the organization and cascade it down to functional managers and to individual employees. And when it's time for appraisal, and as employees are, filling up their appraisals, having appraisal meetings with their line managers, and uploading them, HR can equally see that, from the admin console. Leave management, of course, allows you to administer leave, set the leave types that are applicable within the organization and allow employees to, request for leave and get the leaves approved. Equally has overtime advance and loans, for people who want to be able to extend advance and loan benefit to employees. And an employee self-service where employees can, basically do, update their details and make requests as they wish. Then it gives you analytics, which incidentally it's where, Cloudinly extracts all your operational data and gives you in a presentable format, quantifiable and presentable format, for you to be able to make business sense out of them. We equally provide an identity and access management, because you want to identify every individual or HR person who will have access to the admin console and what they can do. HR is, a broad department. Some people might be more involved in managing payroll, while the other people might be more involved in, learning and development or something else. Okay. Then approval management allows you to basically set how you want each request or each event to be approved within your organization. Then outside the core HR, you have payroll. Cloudinly offers you the flexibility to set different pay schedules for your organization. You can say, oh, I have salaried employees and I have, hourly employees. Or I can say that I have employees I pay monthly, or I have other employees that I pay 2 times in a month. And you can define and say, I pay the first payment on the 15th, and the second payment, I do that on the 30th. Okay, and you can set percentage of the person's gross that happens on the 15th and the percentage that happens on the 30th. Okay, and you can do your payroll setting. What are your earning pay item components that are included in your earnings, your deduction, and you can also enable or disable your payroll compliance, meaning things like payee, pension, and NHF. Okay, and that's why you can remit payee, pension, and NHF directly from the system. In terms of pricing, Cloudinly currently offers 4 plans. Okay, So we have a basic plan, a standard plan, and a premium plan. And finally, we have a custom plan. If you don't want to take any of the plans that we have there, you can come here and customize your own plan. So it gives you the flexibility to choose, pick and choose which you want. Okay. So assuming I select all of this, I say I don't want leave, advance, and overtime. I can go up and include the number of employees I have. Okay. And the system will calculate the price. If you look at the other ones, as I'm removing, sorry, if I remove an item, the price will drop. If I add the item back, the price will go up. Okay. And it totals the price, and I can go ahead and purchase. Okay. And if I don't want to purchase, I can go ahead and try for free. Cloudonly also offers two types of discount. There's a 20% discount if you decide to buy annually, okay, pay annually. So if you look at the price in here, once I go to annual, the price goes down from 3,700 to basically 3,000. Additionally, we offer a volume discount. If you look here, you see a volume discount, okay, and a one-time discount. One-time discount is one-off. You will not get it in your next subscription. The volume discount applies when you have more than 30 employees. Okay, so now I made my employees 30, the volume discount has disappeared. But if I increase it to 31, the volume discount appears. So as I add more employees, the discount, grows. Okay, so I'll log in so that we can see inside the app.
Having our favorite segments where we have Jerry come on board to do the giveaways. So please ensure that you are paying rapt attention. And of course, we'll be dropping the feedback form on the chat. So if you have feedback for us, we'll take that. We've seen your question. It's allowing one for our time. We'll attend to it until you're done with it. Mr. Bay, you can go ahead, please.
Okay. So just give me a minute. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so when you come to Cloudonly, I don't know if I mentioned before that Cloudonly comes bare. It's like an empty box, right? You need to customize it to suit your organization, right? We did it that way to be able to suit, the individual differences that exist in, certain organizations. So you're allowed to customize your application the way you want. The profile contains the person who signed up from your organization. The person is who we recognize as the root admin. But if for any reason the person is not the person who should have this privilege, because the root admin can do virtually anything in the application, you can come down here and transfer that privilege to the right person. Okay. Once you transfer the privilege, the new person becomes the root admin. Organization details is where the organization's information domiciled. Then security helps you protect, your users and be sure that only authorized people can access your account. Within roles and privileges will allow you to create roles. So when you go to roles and privileges initially, it's bare. Admin, HR admin, payroll officer do not exist. You set your role the way you want them. So you can give them any name, give them the description, and begin to assign privileges as you wish. Okay. So as you assign privileges, it means that you are saying anybody assigned this role to, you'll be able to perform the actions. These actions are the privileges that are associated with the role. Once you are done creating the roles, then you can go to admin and start creating people who you want to assign these roles. And as you create somebody, you assign a role to that person. It means that that person is able to perform, that person will have the privileges associated to that role. Then your bank account enables you to run salary. This is a regular bank account, but it's virtual, right? So this is provided in association with Paystack. So once you come in, you set up your account, and Paystack will charge you 0.75% Naira, a percent of the transaction value each time you fund the account, but it will never exceed 100 naira. So assuming you want to fund the account with 10 million naira to help you process salary, the maximum that you will be charged is 100 naira, nothing more. Okay. So once you fund your account, then you can run payroll. And of course, if you want to transfer this fund back to, your account, to a regular bank account, you can do so. Okay. Then you go to pay settings. Like I mentioned earlier, you can create different pay schedules for your, workforce. You can have people you pay 4 times in a month, twice a month, or monthly. And if I open any of them up, you see that, there are other destiny that you do. This is for salaried accounts. I see I pay on the 15, 50%, and on the 29, 50%. And I can do holiday leave, holiday pay policy, and I can select the number of how many hours a typical employee work in a day. This helps you calculate employee hourly rates and daily rates. Okay, so once you're done with this, you can go to earning. You can view what you have set up. So this is the pay items that exists in your regular pay run. You can also edit this, or you can go and add another pay item. Okay, you can select a pay item here and put a name you want to call it on payslip, or you can disregard it. You can select whether it's a regular pay or a variable pay, and you can select whether it's sorry, let me do this. Okay, you can select the rate. You can say it's a fixed amount or a percentage of annual gross, and you can put the value, right? But because I have gotten to 100%, I'm not able to. So if I select something else, for example, if I say 20%, the system will tell me that I've already exceeded 100%. So it won't accept that, except I go to the ones that I have done already and reduce them. I can also set this based on job level, or I can say it cuts across different job levels. Okay, and I can do the additional setting. Particularly important is the prorated pay. If you want employees who are joining you at the middle of the month or something, if you want that pay, that earning type to be prorated, then you have to calculate on a prorated basis. Otherwise, if you employ somebody by 15th and you want to pay salary on the 29th, the person will get the full sum. Okay. You can do the same thing for deduction, and you can go to compliance, enable pension, and you can adjust either of these, and you can add a new PFA, right? You can select a new PFA and add. Okay, you put your enrollment number here, and you can save it. Okay. When you do that, then employees are able to select the preferred PFA or the PFA they are enrolled under, from their ESS. Okay, you can come to pay items that are included in your pension deduction. Statutorily, you are required to include basic transport and housing. So the system has already selected that, but you can decide to include any other thing that you want. Okay. Then once you're done with pension, you can go to payee, okay, and enable or disable. That's entirely up to you. You can go to NHF. You can say deduct NHF or don't deduct NHF, depending on how your organization work. Okay, and you go to compensation planning and plan your pay grades. You're essentially defining all the pay bands or the pay grades you have and the respective bands, for each of those pay grades. So you can say pay grade 1 is between 1 million and 2 million. What it helps you do is to identify the group of people who belong to that pay grade, and equally helps tell you when an employee is paid less than the pay grade where he belongs. There's something they call compare ratio, which measures how well an employee is paid relative to the pay grade that they belong to. So if the person is below the 80th percentile, it means that the person is not well remunerated. But if the person is between 80 and 120, it means that you're paying the person okay. But if the person is above 120, that means you're overpaying the person. So compensation planning helps you basically make sure that you have, that your salary structure is equitable across different work groups, different functions, and different, genders. It helps you basically to, so you can tie it back to your diversity and inclusion. Okay. And again, when you see review here, what review does is to tie your salary or your annual review or your mid-year review to performance. So when you set that I do annual review at so and so date, it's tied to performance. So you can define what percentage of increase you want to give to a certain employee based on how well they have performed. Okay, so employee management helps you manage probation and confirmation, so you can define how long can an individual stay on probation before they are confirmed, so that you are not guessing. Once you select it here and an employee is employed, the system begins to track it. And when it's time for the person to be confirmed, like a month before that, you're notified that this person is due for confirmation. Okay, and you can set all the criteria for evaluating somebody who is on probation before they are confirmed. So once you do that, then the system takes it, and you come here and say you want the line managers to be able to assess employees before submitting to HR and recommending whether they should be confirmed or not. Okay, so in ESS action, you are seeing what employees are able to edit or modify from their ESS console. Okay, approval, like I mentioned before, allows you to, basically to set how you want, to automate your approval flow, and leave allows you to set your leave types that are available within the organization. Okay, all of them are here by default. You can add a new leave type and you can enable a certain leave type, and it has the full structure to, define even delegation of authority, whether it's eligible for leave allowance or not, whether total days entitled, whether you do leave carry forward policy, and when you do, when do they expire? Okay, so once you're fully set up, you can go to the organization design and set up your organization the way you want, define your job levels, define all the job titles that exist in the organization, and come to location, define all your locations, and go to tax and link it to the relevant inland revenue services. Then you can go to employees and add a new employee, or you can edit an existing employee. Okay, and if you go inside the employee data, you can see the employment information for that employee, and you can equally see the pay information for that employee. So if you see here, you see that this person, leave is pay is enabled, pension is enabled, but NHF is not enabled. This is a salaried employee, and this person earns 3 million per annum. Compare ratio is 100%, which means that the person is well compensated. If you go to other benefits, you see whether he has other benefits. Advanced loan is entitled to this amount. You go to work hours, you see that this person works 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and this person's hourly rate is 1,442, and daily rate is this. Here you have account information, bank, tax, and pension. Okay, you can manage confirmation, manage promotion, manage redeployment, delegation. You go to compensation. That's where you visualize everything about how you reward your people. You go to payroll. This is where you manage all employee payroll. So assuming I want to run a new salary, I just click here, select May 2024, salaried employees, only for people I pay for monthly, and I run it. Okay, so no employee, I think I had approved it. Sorry, let me cancel this so that I can initiate it again. Okay, so I come here, select May 2024, salaried, and select this. Okay, so I see all of this, and I can select all of the employees. If I want to add an instant addition, I can click on this. If I want to make a deduction, I can click on this also. If I select all of them, then I can submit the payroll. Now, once it's submitted, because I'm an admin here and I have the preview, I don't need anybody to review it. So I will see that payroll under approved. And once I open it, I can click on pay. Once I click on pay, all the employees will receive their salary instantly. Okay. If for any reason I want to pay offline, I want to export this and send it to the bank to pay, I still need to come and say that this salary was paid offline on this date. I select the bank I used to pay it and submit, right? Once I submit, the payment is gone. It means that I have paid that salary. It's no longer here. The only place I can find it again is here. Okay, that's it here. Okay, so once I do that, the system immediately extracts the pension component for everybody. extracts the payee component for everybody and NHF component for everybody. But that's if I have enabled payee, pension, and NHF. For this account, NHF is not enabled, so it didn't extract anything. But for pension and payee, he extracts that, and I can remit same to the relevant authorities. Okay, so for payee, I can remit to the individual IRS, and for pension, I can do the same thing. I can remit to the individual PFA. Okay, so I click on remit pension and the money goes to them. Okay, under leave management, I can see leave plan allows employees to plan their leave at the beginning of the year. Leave requests, sees everybody who have requested for leave, and is seeing the status whether their line manager have approved or not. And this back, get this back, and the year-end leave balances. It tells me all my employees who have gone on leave, who have days remaining, who is yet to collect their leave allowance, and I'm able to manage that. Okay. So overtime is equally the advance and loans allow me to extend advances and loans to employees. Overtime, performance allows me to manage performance across board and all of that. But importantly, then analytics, okay, where I visualize everything that happens. Incidentally, what we're discussing today is diversity and inclusion. And across each of these modules, Cloud only extracts, people operations data and shows you in a readable format, in a quantifiable format in your analytics so that you can make sense of them and make more informed decision. Okay, so whether it's performance, it tells you how employees are performing across different categories of employees, whether it's gender, ethnicity, age, education, qualification, any of them. It can equally tell you how different people are exercising their leave benefits, or how people are paid or compensated. And they can equally tell you the distribution of different kinds of people across the organization under the organization analytics. Okay, so Cloud only ties very well to what we're discussing today, but generally helps you to run your organization efficiently. Okay, I hope I've done justice. I was trying to rush. Additionally, if you have multiple organizations within a group, you can add them here so that you just switch, instead of signing out and logging into another account for another organization, you can add a new account here. So when you come here, you can switch from one account to the other, and it's very easy for you to administer. And if I'm an employee, I can click on switch to ESS, and this becomes my own personal account, right? This is where I request for leave, advance, overtime. If I'm a manager, then I have the manager self-service, where I will see leave, advance, overtime, request from my direct reports, okay? And this is where I can get my pay slip. This is my personal info. This is where I can access other employees and access their personal information, but personal information that are generic. Which department is this person? Who does he report to? What job level is he in? What's his job title? What's his phone number? What's his email? No confidential information like payroll information, no. Okay, so that's Cloud only in a nutshell. Maybe when we get to question, I will have an opportunity to clarify further. Thank you.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you so much, Emesibe. Can I get virtual hand claps for him? You can see me on video, so you can. So it's interesting to know that MTN offers Cloudinly service to all SMEs and businesses in partnership with Cloudinly. So if you go to our website, www.mtn.ng/business/Cloudinly, you can subscribe to this service. And if you have a complex organization and you will need a hand-holding process in setting up your organization on this new platform. A lot of you are using some of the platforms where you have to pay in dollars and you have to pay in foreign currency right now. Some applications I know don't have, some HR applications don't have the payroll and tax, whatever that aligns with Nigerian laws and processes. Cloudinly is here to solve that for you. So if you need hand-holding, just send an email to us. Then the Cloudinly team will be on ground to, once you subscribe to the service, number of employees you have, Cloudinly will be on hand to onboard your team, train your HR personnel on how to set up Cloudinly. Once again, thank you so much, Emesibe, for this session, and also to Vivian for a very well taken session. So we have a question for you, Vivian, in the chat room. Okay, and I think you've started answering it, but maybe you want to answer it verbally. Yeah, good job, and thanks for all you do. My question, as an SME whose majority of its employees are casual, semi-permanent, they leave anytime, even with short notice, due to non-competitive pay. What do you advise when it comes to investing in staff training and giving robust welfare package?
All right, thank you,
Vivian,
Daring.
that's for you.
Yes, thank you, Daring. As you said, I had already started answering the question in the chat. And I would like to mention that sometimes pay is not really the main reason why some workers leave where they work. There are other factors to consider. And I mentioned it in my response that I had sent across to say if you have an extensive welfare package for these employees. There's healthcare. You know, healthcare is so expensive now, but there are some HMOs that package, basic, or rather that can attend to the basic needs of that individual. If I have a fever, I need to treat malaria. You have where to go and get such medications from such HMOs, listed hospitals. So if you have a package in place for them that takes care of their health welfare, that ensures that their needs in terms of the pattern that they work. Maybe it's not full time, they need to work just some few hours in the morning and their afternoon is off because they have other responsibilities that they need to take care of. These are some of the things you need to start putting on the table for your employees so that you cater for their needs extensively. That way you have room for high retention of your employees. How is your work structured? What's the workplace structured like? Is it comfortable for them to even walk in? These are some of the things that you need to consider. So some of them don't leave just because of pay. There are other factors that drives them to leave. And I mentioned exit interview. That interview gives you room to find out the reason why they are leaving. Okay, there may not be any room for exit interview, but then the employees you're working with, do you know them? Do you know where they're from? Do you know who they live with? Do you know the distance they come from? Do you think transportation is a challenge for them? Do you need to provide some form of transport stipend amongst the numerous welfare package that you'd have put in place for them? So as I was saying, it's something that you need to extensively take your time to dig deeper, know your employees a lot more better based on the mix, and then be able to meet them according to their needs.
Thank you very much. That was succinctly put, and employees have needs as well, and their needs need to be met. So they kind of ship out when various offers to meet their needs are delivered to them to better opportunities. I see Fashola Communications asking part of the contributions of MTN to what are part of the contributions of MTN towards improving the well-being of an individual SME growth and development. Well, you are on one right now. This is a free webinar. Some of these trainings you have to pay for in some quarters. So these are part of the part of the contributions of MTN towards growth of SME and development. And I must tell you, MTN Enterprise Business, or MTN Business as you know it, is focused on businesses. Part of our target audience, especially in the few years past and going into the future, are SMEs. You are the bedrock of Nigerian businesses. Part of the solutions that we are delivering to you, I will call them our cloud productivity solutions, are particularly targeted at SMEs to make you professional without you breaking the bank. For example, if you had to go and pay for some dollar-denominated HR and payroll solution, you know what it will have been. Then MTN has its Yellowpreneur initiative that you could latch on to grow your business. Please just Google Yellowpreneur, MTN Yellowpreneur, and you'll be glad you did as an SME. It's a platform to help SMEs to scale, boost their businesses. Some employees, some SMEs get grants, and so many other things like that. Trainings that you will have had to pay for with a lot of money are free coming from MTN. So please look out for this information. Join our SME tribe on Facebook. You get a lot of information there as well. Follow us on our various platforms. My colleague Chinwe will be dropping them. Instagram, MTN NG Business, Facebook, MTN NG Business, and X, MTN NG Business. Please follow those places. You see a lot of, and visit our website, mtn.ng/business. You have a lot of information for you as an SME right there. And then past webinars can be watched live on our MTN YouTube page. So just be on the lookout for that. And I know a lot of us have waited, 87 of us on this call, and I know it is time for the giveaways. This is my favorite time of MTN webinars, our SME webinars. This is one of my favorite sessions. So Chinwe, please, while we wait for that, while we wait to start the giveaway session, Chinwe, please help me drop the feedback form on the chat. And please give us feedback. Drop the feedback for us, and so that we'll know what to do better in our future webinars. All right. So I feel like giving away data today. Data is life, as they say. So yeah, I want to give out some data today. I want to give data to 10 people. My people in the office say you have always been giving five people. So today, let's do 10. Let's do 10. Let's do 10 people. But you know, to do this, we need to answer a couple of questions. And this is how it's going to go. Trade house rules. I see Vivian smiling. Vivian, you are not eligible. Mr. and Miss Sebe, you are not eligible. You are not eligible. And these are the house rules. Your full name, when you are typing the answer, type in your full name, Aderinsola Aino, for example. Then your email address, please give us your correct email address, your phone number, and the correct answer. Once again, your full name, your email address, your MTN phone number, and the correct answer in that order, so that we will have, because we'll be mailing the data coupon to you. We'll be mailing the data coupon to you. All right. So also you'll be getting the video on our MTN YouTube page shortly after this session. This session, you can watch it over and over again on our YouTube channel. Okay. So let's start with question 1. And I'm feeling happy today. So I'm not making the questions very hard. Okay. First person to get the answer right in the chat section will get my data coupon. And please, once you hear that you have won a data coupon, you are not eligible for another one. Okay, so let's go. Many house rules, but so let us equitable and all that. Don't worry, I won't ask you to sing the new national anthem. Eh? Don't worry. All right, first question. Cloudily is suitable for micro and small businesses and can scale as they grow. True or false? Very cheap question. Cloudily is suitable for micro and small businesses. True or false? In 3, 2, 1, and 0. Fantastic. I have my first correct answer. And if you didn't answer the question in the order I told you to, you are disqualified. And my first answer is from Damilare Olaleye. No. MTNers, no. No, no, no. Okay, my first correct answer is Akinshola Kehinde. Akinshola Kehinde. Chinwe, please let me capture Akinshola's details. Akinshola Kehinde at akinsholaken@gmail.com. Thank you very much. The people that are ineligible for this know themselves, so they should not be part of this. Okay, thank you very much for adhering to the rules. Akishola Kende, congratulations. You get 2 gig of data from us. Okay, Cloudinly is fully customizable and allows you configure your account to suit your organization's needs. True or false? Okay. In 3, 2, 1, and 0. That's all. And my answer, correct answer goes to that is no more answers, please. Was that person? Who was the first person?
Inshallah.
No, that was the first winner. Yeah. Alexander Akadieze. Alexander Akadieze. Alexander Akadieze. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Alexander. Congratulations. Congratulations. So, all right. Next question. So if I were you, I would have typed my name, my email address, and my phone number already. The next question. Name 2 different plans on Cloudinly. Name 2 different plans on Cloudinly. 2 different plans available on Cloudinly. Now people are thinking. Okay. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Fantastic. I have my first answer. My first correct answer is from Michael Adediran. Michael Adediran. Okay, Michael Adediran. Yeah, we have the basic, the standard, the premium, and the custom. So he got it right. Basic and premium. Fantastic. Michael Adediran, please let me capture him. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Another question again. What's discount when you subscribe to the annual plan? When you subscribe for the annual plan of when you subscribe for the annual plan, what discounts do you get? What discount do you get? In 3, 2, 1, and 0. Wow. Okay. Obina Samuel Agu. Obina Samuel Agu. Oh, sorry, Agu. 20%. 20% discount. Okay. So let me go to the last question on Cloudinly now before I go to the next 5 questions on other things. Okay. All right. No more, please stop answering questions on that one. On question 4, we have answers already. All right. Okay, question 5 now. Let me mark this place to know question 5. Okay. Give me 3 workflows, HR workflows, different activities. So then let me make it simple. 3 different workflows you can do on Cloudinly. 3 different types of transactions you can carry out on Cloudinly. 3 different types. If you are listening well, you will know these questions. Let me drink water on your behalf. In 5. Okay, let me make it 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay. Let me see. Probation, confirmation, no. Sarah Goke Ado. Sarah Goke Ado. Pension, tax, and HMO. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Correct. So now we have I have 5 questions already. Can you help me name them again?
The winners?
Yeah, the 5 winners we have so far.
So we have Akinshola Kengi,
Yes.
Alexander Akadieze,
Yes.
Michael Adedin,
Yes.
Obina Samuel Agu,
Yes.
and Sarah Goke Ado.
Fantastic. All right. So we'll move to other questions that have nothing to do with that have nothing to do with Cloudinly. Question 6. Are you good to go?
Sorry, Ade. Can I cut in?
Yes, please.
Sarah actually failed it. Sorry, she doesn't.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Sarah mentioned pension, tax, and HMO. Those are not.
Okay.
Yes. I think the next person is Femi Olabisi.
Femi Olabisi is the one who got it.
Yeah, let me see what.
Oh.
Yeah, Femi got it.
Femi Olabisi.
Femi must have been
Yes.
very hard.
Oh, I missed that myself. Can you imagine? Apologies.
Femi must have been praying hard.
Okay. Thank you very much, MSCB.
Next
question. Yeah.
Please follow us on socials. We have posted the handles.
Yes.
Kindly follow us now. Now, take a minute, follow us now on socials.
Okay, so the next 5 questions for the next set of winners. I still have 5 data coupons to give out. Question 6. And this is very cheap. If you've been listening to our webinars, you will have been conversant with this. What is the name of the cybersecurity solution that MTN recently released? What is the name of the cybersecurity, antivirus and cybersecurity solution MTN just released? What is the name of the cybersecurity solution MTN offers? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I touch.
Hints, please ensure your name.
Your name, your phone number, your email address. Remember the rules so that we don't give to anyone. Fantastic. And the first person is Luke. Luke. Mr. Luke is our first. No, it's Dan Uzmi Ibrahim Bala. Dan Azumi Ibrahim Bala. Yes. ESET antivirus and cybersecurity solution. ESET. Yes. Yes. ESET. All right. Next question. Please let me capture that person. Another solution that you should know. Name the solution that MTN offers for social media advertising. Social media advertising. The solution we offer for social media advertising. The full name, I don't want corner name. No. For social media advertising. The full name of the solution. Hey, let me give 5 more seconds. I don't have a winner yet. Ayuba. Social media
Some of
advertising.
you are 50% correct. You are almost there. So just complete it.
Oh God. That is, you have not been answering, you have not been listening. I'll give 5 more minutes, 5 more seconds. If I don't have an answer for that, then there goes my data with me. Okay, and I think I have my first answer. Nancy Nwakibie, Tribe Ads. Tribe Ads. So either be Tribe Ads for Facebook or Tribe Google Ads, so it's still Tribe Ads. Congratulations, Nancy.
Congrats, Nancy.
Congratulations, Nancy. Tribe Ads or Tribe Google Ads or Tribe, yeah. So I'll give you that. All right. Question number 8. What is the name of the solution that MTN offers for online meetings? Online meetings. It's a new solution. If you have been seeing us on social media, we've been advertising the new. Beautiful. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Luke Obina. Meetings Plus. Congratulations, Luke Obina. All right. 2 more questions, and I'm good to go today. This one is a bonus question. The last 2 questions are actually bonus questions. You must be able to answer them. What is the web page for MTN Business? Hello. I think I got knocked out of the call. I'm back on another device. Beauty of technology, right? Let me get to the chat. Let me see my first correct answer. Wow. Network knocked me out. All right. Oladokun Samuel. Congratulations, Oladokun Samuel. Amazing.
Even your phone.
Yeah. Confirm you can hear me, Vivian?
Yes, I can still hear you.
Fantastic. So that was some network downtime, the beauty of technology, right? So to give out the last data for today, I'm determined to give out this data. The person that got you captured the last person? Yeah. I need to capture the person's name again. Or network can do this to you. Yeah. I just want to get the person's name. I mentioned the person, Oladokun Samuel. Oladokun Samuel. Just capture his name now. Oladokun Samuel. Okay. And finally, for the last question today to give data, I'm just in a good mood today, and I just want to give this one out. What year did MTN start operations in Nigeria? Please, it's a bonus question. What year did MTN start operation in Nigeria? And my first correct answer is Samuel Ogbonna. And that was 2001. Samuel Ogbonna. 2001. Congratulations to my 10 winners today. And just nice hosting this with you today. Please follow us on our social media handles again as we round up today. mtnng.business. Have you heard it? MTNNG Business on Instagram, on X, and on Facebook. MTN Business. MTNNG Business. MTNNG Business. On YouTube is MTN Nigeria Business. But on X, Instagram, and Facebook is MTN, and LinkedIn, MTNNG Business. Please go and follow us, and you'll be glad you did. All right. So I'd like to thank Vivian Omorogbe for that fantastic session. And please look in the chat room now, about to drop our feedback form. Chinwe has already dropped the feedback form. I will drop it again so that we can, have you dropped it already? Where is it? Okay, I'll drop it again so that we can give us feedback on how we can make our webinars more enriching for you. Diversity and sustainability in tech webinar feedback form. Please check the chat room and please fill the feedback form so that we can know how best to serve you. Follow us on media pages and be sure that this webinar is going to be on our YouTube channel very soon once we are done with this webinar. So we come your way again next time on our SME webinars. Have a lovely day. Please keep safe. I'll see you next time. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.